Good afternoon, everybody. It is meteorologist Ainsworth Forecast here, and welcome back to another weather update, guys. Today, we're going to be doing another tropical update here on Hurricane Dorian. It's inching closer and closer to the Carolinas, bringing a huge threat for possible hurricane landfall on those islands of North Carolina, guys. We will be having a lot of new updates on the tracks, systems, cone timing, even the National Weather Service. We actually have a lot of new updates spreading all the way to Virginia. If you guys want to know all the new updates, be sure to see the whole video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, guys. We're trying to get to 1,900 by the end of the month. And also be sure to like the video if you liked it. So without further ado, let's get in the video. So we are going to be looking at the 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook here. Again, we have a lot of news. We have a lot of systems really here. Here we have Tropical Storm Gabrielle. Here we have Tropical Depression Ferdinand. We have a lot of new systems again, but we are going to be focusing on Dorian as it is starting moving northward a lot faster now. So here we have it now at maximum sustained wind at 95 knots. So here it is at 110 miles per hour. So it really hasn't changed a whole lot. It has been gaining a little bit of strength, just in a little or more like formation wise. It's been getting a lot more formation, like got a lot organized into formation. If you guys like the Iowa and all that, but it really hasn't really got a lot stronger wind wise. The minimum central pressure is continuing to rise, which means it is getting it is starting just to lose some pressure. It is starting to get a bit less organized. Like I said, this morning it was getting more organized, but now it's starting to get a little bit less organized. So that's why we have this central pressure going up, and it is now moving at 8 miles per hour. So again, it is moving a bit faster now. So it's getting pretty close to Savannah and Jacksonville. So you guys will be experiencing some cloud cover. So now we're gonna be looking now at the satellite imagery here for you guys to see exactly who's seeing the cloud cover and all that. Let me switch to the black color here. Okay, so here we are going to be looking at the satellite imagery. So here we have the eye. Again, it actually was very, very unorganized last night. But like now it is, like I said earlier this morning, the eye did get a lot more organized this morning. And we are going to see cloud cover already for much of Jacksonville, all the way to Savannah, all the way if you guys are in Charleston. You guys will all be seeing possibly some tropical storm force winds later today. Here we have the eye wall surrounding it right here. Again, it is a lot weaker. We see more of the dark red, not the big brownish and black color there, because it is going again a lot less stronger. And then again, it's still a Category 2. So again, it still could bring in some huge threats for Category 1 force winds for Jacksonville. If you guys show there, you guys were actually getting to the black color earlier, which means you guys were getting some very strong gusts. These winds really wouldn't push that much north, really. It's going to be just kind of a little pattern, just rotating the same area over and over and over again. So really, it shouldn't become widespread right now. We are seeing the cloud cover getting a bit more widespread into North Carolina, moving up, and that's where we do have that huge threat for the coastal areas in North Carolina, Georgia, and all the way South Carolina. This is where we have this threat for possibly having a lot of rain within the next couple of days. And again, we just have a lot of vorticity. Again, the vorticity is at that rotation you are seeing right now. If you guys did see the rotation, that's where we see the clouds. It's like a tornado, like that warm, cool air, except it's because it is rotating the clouds and it is getting straight on that fuel of the warm waters. And so now we're going to be looking at the cone and timing here. Again, it's kind of a lot farther out now. We can't see a lot of the areas because it is going to be potentially going all the way over there into the northern Atlantic near the Greenland area. So it's going to be going way out there. But we are going to be try to focus a little bit on the southeast here. So here we have these tropical storm force winds out here stretching all the way to the Atlantic into Georgia. You guys are experiencing tropical storm force winds. Savannah, Jacksonville, even Charleston, you guys are all experiencing these tropical storm force winds. The hurricane force winds are just off the coast, but they should possibly have hurricane force winds in North Carolina. We do have the hurricane warnings now moving a bit more to the north. So if you guys are now on the east coast of Florida, you guys are now in the clear now. Really, you don't have that much unless you live in the Jacksonville area. That's where you have some things. But again, so now Melbourne, West Palm Bay, all you guys are in the clear, so you guys don't have to worry about it now. It wasn't too big of an issue. We did have some storm surge and all that. So in the red, we do have hurricane warnings. That's all the way from Virginia Beach. So yeah, in Virginia Beach, you guys have hurricane warnings all the way into Savannah is where we have hurricane warnings. So much of the east coast of Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. So basically, the whole east coast the whole coastal area for North Carolina and South Carolina do have hurricane warnings. So I would recommend moving out of the area, even though we did have the mandatory evacuation. In the dark blue, we do have tropical storm warnings stretching out from southern Delaware, parts of Maryland, all the way to Jacksonville. And then we do have some areas in the yellow that's for southern Delaware, southern Maryland, and parts of Virginia. That's where we do have tropical storm watches. And then again, we have hurricane watches also in effect for Savannah and Jacksonville. So this is where we're going to be focusing right now on the cone and timing here. So it is going to be moving a bit faster. By Fridays, where we have that huge threat for making landfall on the islands of North Carolina. And the thing is, it's looking like it's going to possibly go into a lot warmer waters than expected. Because remember how it's supposed to possibly hit Nova Scotia as a tropical storm. Now it can actually hit Nova Scotia as a Category 1 hurricane, maybe even a Category 2. But again, this is the 1 to 3 day outlook. So again, it does get a lot more strength. And then we could have some possibly Nova Scotia threats. But again, we still could have some huge rain threats for the New England. Actually, for the whole East Coast, basically, we'll be seeing some huge threats with Dorian. Now we looked at that, let's now look at the track guidance here. Again, we have a lot more models favoring it hitting North Carolina, making landfall. So we could have a very, very high chance for a direct landfall on North Carolina. So if you guys are near anywhere in Greenville, Wilmington, Kitty Hawk, especially Kitty Hawk, that's where we can have direct landfall and the best chance of having direct landfall there. So again, it's going to be moving a bit faster within the next 48 hours. Again, it's going to be right here, and then by Friday, it's going to be where we have that huge threat for parts of Virginia, even Delaware. You guys can be seeing tropical storm force winds. Again, only the most southern part, not like all the way to Pennsylvania or like that. So this is going to be the area of where we concern in between these two lines, where we have that area concern for possibly having the eye going over. So if you're basically only North Carolina really has to worry about being in between these two lines. Maybe even a little bit of Virginia there, near like even a couple miles east of Virginia Beach, if that's even a possible going east of Virginia Beach. And again, this is not the cone itself. This is like the concern for having the eye. Again, the cone stretch is a lot farther. It's like this. I think the cone's like a lot farther. So again, this is where you have the eye. Again, it does possibly hit Nova Scotia, and then goes down to possibly all the way to Greenland. So yeah, it's going to be going a lot farther. It's kind of a weird track again. But yeah, this is going to be a huge threat for all the way North Carolina to Maine. And we can still have some threats for wind. Now we're going to be looking at the intensity guidance, because a lot of you guys were kind of talking about if it's going to strengthen or not. It did strengthen a bit this morning. But now it's now it's basically weakening. But at this point, we shouldn't have it strengthen a whole lot. Again, it could stay Category 2 for a pretty good amount of time. We have the majority showing within the next 24 hours. We've seen another Category 1, but with the latest, or also lost, say, 48 hours, or even all the way to the next 96 hours. So again, it's going to be going some warmer waters, about the same temperature, so we shouldn't see a huge difference. But with them, we go by late this week, we should have Category 1 and then tropical storm. So again, no threat of it intensifying, if you guys were wondering that. Not much to talk about in the intensity guidance, really, because it won't be strengthening or anything. So again, here it is. Again, Dorian has strengthened, or got a lot bigger in size. It's about the size of right now the whole, or not the whole southeast, but about the size of maybe Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. Again, with the outer bands, it's a bit bigger, but it's really, really big though. So we have, again, maximum sustained winds getting up to 94 knots there. The European is actually showing a possibility of strengthening to 114 knots. So again, European is favoring a possibly getting a bit bigger there. But either way, it's going to get bigger in size, but not really winds. We just have to wait a little bit. But again, Savannah, Charleston, you guys will all be seeing Category 1 force winds possible, especially in the Kitty Hawk area. We'll definitely have to wait to see possibly maybe 90 knots in those areas, maybe at least 68 knots. So again, we'll be seeing very, very weak Category 1 force winds, which will still bring a lot of damage. And look, we're even going to be seeing possibly tropical storm force winds in the Maine area, Massachusetts, possibly seeing 46 knots. So that could be an issue. We're definitely going to be seeing a threat for tropical storm force winds especially northern Maine, near Portland, Maine, you guys will be possibly reaching 54 knots. So again, like I said, the whole East Coast has to worry about this system. Now we're going to be looking at the radar here. So again, we will be seeing central pressure getting higher by this time, so we don't have to worry about it a lot. But this is where we worry about it getting a bit bring it a bit close to North Carolina. The GFS is actually, the new update is showing it going a bit farther off the coast of North Carolina, because earlier last night showed it a lot closer. So that's we have to watch. Oh, I'm not saying we're going to have a landfall in North Carolina. I'm saying there's a very, very good chance we do. And then we do have central pressure going a lot lower, back to 958. So that could be possibly where we see another strength, possibly strengthening. So again, it's honestly, Dorian's really, really unpredictable at this point. But it gets bring huge flooding issues for Nova Scotia and possibly in the New England area is where we can have some issues. Now that we looked at that, let's also look at the rainfall. We look at total accumulated precip. Again, it's very widespread. We are actually going to be possibly seeing less rain in North Carolina. Let's actually move a bit more though, see if this goes all the way. Yeah, this is actually the end of Dorian. So this is the end of Dorian. So again, let's actually maybe move a bit more because this is only Monday. Yeah, this is basically the end of Dorian, and we're only going to be seeing the most amount of rain we'll be seeing is actually about 14 inches, which is actually very, very high for South Carolina, especially that Charleston area is where we will be seeing the most amount of rain out of the system in the United States. We are seeing a bit less rain to see in North Carolina, only about 7 to 8 inches. That's still extremely a big amount, but compared to yesterday, we had a lot higher. So that is kind of a relief for these areas in eastern North Carolina. And then again, we'll be seeing this heavy rain staying off the coast and possibly bringing in a bit more for Nova Scotia. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and bye guys.